Hi, I'm Katie Ledecky. As an Olympic athlete, you might think staying healthy is easy for me. Truth is, we all face challenges. Keeping the right mindset is how we achieve our best personal performance. At Catholic Health, the same focus on wellness and prevention that I follow every day is the way they think too. That's why I'm teaming up with Catholic Health to help make healthcare even more positive, proactive, and personal for every person across Long Island. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
From Gold Star Stadium, the Rams of New Canaan have crossed the border, looking to bounce back from a loss to Staples, while Chaminade, hey, they've been in Disney, the seniors. They've had 10 days off to prepare for this non-league showdown. New Canaan, Chaminade, right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Today's game sponsored by Catholic Health. Long live you, and long live Long Island. Well, a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Brian Soper. Once again, we make the trip here to Chaminade. It's been a while since we've been to Chaminade. We were out at St. Anthony's for a bunch of games, but now we're here, Gold Star Stadium, and Chaminade hasn't played a game in 10 days, so it's almost like they've had an extended preseason a little bit, maybe a chance to get some guys healthy. The seniors had their senior trip as well. But they're back on the field here against New Canaan. Strange to think, you've got all these matchups, right? Darien and Manhasset and Staples and St. Anthony's. These two haven't played each other in more than 2 decades.
But they do play each other on the freshman level, right? The JV level. So it's about time, right? They play on the varsity level, right? Two really good programs, historic programs, great head coaches, great staffs. It's a telling week for New Canaan coming up, right? They got Chaminade, Wilton, Iona Prep, Chaminade's kind of like the midway point, right? They're looking at Riggs Rock at the end of the week, right? And then all the way at the end of the year, that 5-13 matchup versus St. Anthony's, looking to kind of get things right and get things rolling for the guys in red.
Yeah, different parts of the season because Connecticut starts later than New York. But when we talk about New Canaan, look, 4-1 on the year. They did have some impressive early season wins, right? You look at they go and beat Mamaroneck. They beat CBA from Jersey. They beat Rumson Fairhaven also. So they kind of swept the Jersey slate of their schedule, beat St. Joe's Trumbull, and then they take on a Staples team. We just saw them against St. Anthony's. They had a lead in that game at halftime, and then Staples took over in the second half. And it's a New Canaan team that they are down 7 guys, right? So for a public school team to be down that many guys, that is rough. But when we spoke with Chip Buzzio, their head coach, he said it's kind of a blessing in disguise because it gives other guys a chance to get playing time right away. So what happens when those 7 guys come back, which he hopes is sooner than later? Now you have additional depth, right? You've got a deeper team than you started with.
Definitely, right? It's next man up mentality. Got to fill in roles. Chaminade dealing with some injuries as well. It seems like every team we've covered, there's been some major injuries. So the idea is to keep the ship going forward, bring guys in, and just keep getting better as you get into the latter half of your schedule and the playoffs.
2 guys that rely on here today. When you think Soap, as you see, it's Gray Wildman and Andrew Hojnacki. When you look at, or when you think of New Canaan like Mount Rushmore, right? Michael Kraus is right at the very beginning of that list. Chip Buzzio says of Gray Wildman, who is just a sophomore, starting his sophomore year, he thinks at this point of his career and projecting-wise, better than Kraus, who went on and played at Virginia, was the ACC Rookie of the Year, a 4-time All-American, a national champion. That's how good Gray Wildman is for New Canaan.
High praise, right? 23 points for an offense that's averaging over 12 a game. He does it all, right? He hammers it. He stings corners. He feeds it. He can ride it. He loves the game, right? He's a complete attackman. And then Andrew Hojnacki, right? 6'3", 180, basketball player, great feet, long arm. He's rangy, right? These are two super sophomores that are going to draw a lot of high-level Division I interest, and much needed, right? This is a defense that's lost 7 D1 guys over the last 2 years. So Hojnacki, the new recruit who covers everyone's best.
Yeah, behind a lot of really good dudes, like you said, all right now playing Division I lacrosse, and he seems to be that next guy up for this Rams program. So that's New Canaan. We take a look at Chaminade, right? 7-3 on the year. We saw them early in that game against St. Anthony's. They battled them. They were close. They had that rough third quarter. They also lost to Malvern Prep, who we just saw on Saturday, a double overtime game that was similar to the St. Anthony's game where they had a bad spell. But other than those games, the common denominator has been slow starts, right, for this really uber-talented Chaminade team. And the other major storyline for these guys, unfortunately, is the absence of James Gillis, their number 19, whereas James Regan's number, the number 1 player in the class of 2026. He is out with a back injury, and really not necessarily any timetable for a return. It's very slow. Unfortunately for a Chaminade, their season ends a lot sooner than public school teams, right? So the window is kind of rapidly closing to potentially get him back. But again, the glass half full, other guys, it's a team mentality. So it's not necessarily the next man up to replace Gillis. It's let's all combine, raise our level, and play really good team lacrosse.
They're on a 4-game winning streak, right? And guys are filling in, right? Sim, Balsamo's doing a little more distributing to some of the younger guys. Haristoforatos, right? The sophomores stepped up. This team has depth, right? And you've seen it. You see it here. Hate to see injuries, especially for someone as dynamic as Gillis, his senior year. And his dad's on the staff, must be killing him, right, to see him not be able to suit up. But you see him out there. What a great teammate. And you better believe it. If he can play, if he gets a doctor's note, he will be out there.
Yeah, he's just starting a slow return to the field, and who knows? Maybe that 5-13 game you mentioned, maybe he makes a Walt Frazier-like step onto the field. We speak about our players to watch. Let's take a look at those guys for Chaminade. We could have picked a bunch of guys, obviously, but offensively, Sim, we will highlight here, and then Brody Shapiro. When we had that game against St. Anthony's, was out with a concussion. He's back. A real lockdown short stick D-Midi.
Sim, junior from Rockville Center, has really stepped up in the absence of Gillis. Team leader in goals with 18. Cornell commit. Had 6 goals and 2 as a sophomore, really stepping up in his junior year. And Brady Shapiro, senior from Lido, going to Stony Brook, shut down short stick D-Midi, huge motor. Him and Bakirs, right, really make a great D-Midi tandem. And kind of following those molds, right? Jack Tully, Sean Connolly, who's at BU, right? That's kind of been a staple of this Chaminade program, those gritty, in-between-the-lines guys. And Shapiro is having a great season.
Let's take a look at the lineups for both of these teams. First, for the visitors from New Canaan, up top, joining Wildman there is Mazabras and Reed. In the midfield, it's Campese, the senior, bound for Denver, Roeder, and Sullivan. At LSM, it is Sam Schoonmaker. We mentioned before Hojnacki, along with Owen Robbie, Liam Cox, and then a Princeton-bound junior goalie in Jack Kroll.
At Gold Star, we have a 5-star goalie matchup between two of them, right? Kroll, 5-star, heading to Princeton, 5'11", 180, an absolute weapon out of the cage, has the green light to go, scored a goal against Staples last game. Just a winner, right? Football, lax, hockey, 4-time state champion, one of the best around. And, shared time with Cam Lyden. Unfortunately, Michigan-bound goalie, he's hurt, right? So now it's Kroll's show to play all 4 quarters.
Head coach of New Canaan, 14th season, a legend in New Canaan, is Chip Buzzio, 1996 graduate, a hockey and lacrosse standout there. Went on and won a couple of national championships at Princeton as well. Nick Hota is his OC. John Harvey's his DC as well. Kevin Fawnin works with the goalies. We'll get the Chaminade starters when we return. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job in exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We take a look at Chaminade's starting lineup. On attack, you've got Balsamo, Pizzo, and Voorhees. Your first midfield line of Ferraro, Rich, Sim, and Haristoforatos. At LSM, Ryan Battaglia. And then your close D of Trainer, Duran, and Offsey. And in the goal, another standout, right? Wearing number 44, Kieran Walsh.
Kieran Walsh, another 5-star, heading to Notre Dame. Top recruit goalie in the country. He's kind of become your prototypical goalie. He's 6'5", he plays low, right? Dares you to beat him up top, which is almost impossible in that Enneman mold, right? Going with that pipeline of Chaminade goalies to Notre Dame. Quick hands, good outler of the lacrosse ball, barely gives up a rebound. We have some goalie matchup today.
The head coach of Chaminade, there you see him, Greg Kay, along with his associate head coach, Tom O'Connell. Both Chaminade guys. Kay played at Siena, came back here to coach and teach in 2002. Joining O'Connell, who is your DC, you've got Rich Greismer, the co-OC, Chris Clark, your face-offs guy, James Gillis, Cal Sullivan, Dylan Greismer, also all part of the staff. We spoke with both of these head coaches. Here's what they identified as their keys to this game.
Yeah, Coach Buzziel, right, want to ride and clear well, win the GB battle, got to shoot well on a guy like Walsh. Chaminade, share the rock, distribute it, find the open man, bury it. Win the GB battle and ride and clear well, right? Hopefully that will happen for Coach K and the Flyers.
A lot of similarities in those keys, right? About riding and clearing, and this battle here at the Face-Off X, which will feature Nick Sorami for New Canaan, the sophomore, against George Mavlios, the Rutgers-bound senior. And we are off here at Gold Star Stadium. First face-off goes to the Flyers.
You see the sophomore, Ben Haristoforatos, one of the best 28s in the country. Great job by him on the wing.
It's interesting, too, in our conversation with Greg Kay, said we almost don't, like, for broadcast purposes, we had to say first midfield, second midfield, and attack. He goes, really, it's kind of 9 guys. It's positionless lacrosse among those 9 attacking players. Good feed, step down, bouncer, and Kroll makes the first save.
Great save. You see how athletic he is, right? Head up right away. Good outlet pass. Looked like New Canaan might have been in a bit of a zone look there.
And that's one that Walsh will save easily. On the other side, Blake Schwartz had to go.
Yeah, you got to shoot really well today on both of these goalies. Both of them outstanding.
Maybe if we're lucky, we'll see one goalie shoot on the other goalie.
How about Buzzio saying, we finally got a guy to go to Princeton, right? He's all pumped up, right? Buzzio was 24-0 in the Ivy when he was there playing for Coach Tierney.
Aristoforatos. The feed, it's Sims. Sims step down and fires it in. Chaminade takes the 1-0 lead.
You see a little 2-man game here. Sim, lefty shooter, gets to the middle, buries it low and away. The Cornell commit, the leading scorer, right? Him and Aristoforatos play a little 2-man, little hitch to the middle, buries it low. Sim's been on fire, right? His 19th goal of the year. Was one of the few sophomores on varsity last year, really capitalizing on that experience this year. Going to Cornell, his dream is to win a natty.
Mavlios, when he wins it going forward, he is a threat. Nice hitch by Balsamo, goes low and wide.
Balsamo has that move down, that little wing spot, hitch to the middle. Nice save there off the restart.
One thing we're noticing, it feels like Chaminade is shot out of a cannon here. They've been waiting to play, huh, these guys? 10 days off.
Yeah, Mavlios got a shot off there. Nice piece by Kroll.
Here comes Cypress downhill. Pumps the brakes at X. Looks to facilitate. Kicks it out. Loose ball. It will still be battled for. Still loose. And it goes to Chaminade. The bouncer will go! Hayden Cypress!
Another one of those sophomores last year who were on the varsity, now junior. It's paying dividends for the Yale commit. Comes out one-handed, kind of walks the dog and buries it to the 5-hole. What an individual effort by Hayden Cypress, his 17th goal on the year. Just an unbelievable hustle play to come out of there and shoot the ball.
Back to the face-off X we go. 2-0 the early lead for Chaminade. And this one will get the wings involved. And we had a push, so it'll go to New Canaan.
You mentioned like Chaminade having maybe a little bit of rust, not having playing, but that bus ride is not easy, right? When you come down the day of, I'm sure they hit some traffic on 95, looking to get their legs here.
There's Cole Campese, good-looking senior from Denver, really fast.
He was an All-American last year for New Canaan.
So first settled 6-on-6 for the Rams now. We wondered about matchups, right? Who gets who? Who gets Wildman? There he is.
That's Trainer. He's heading to Fairfield. Physical, tough. He's like, I'll take a sophomore.
Roeder to Campese. Good first step. Pops it up top.
Interested to see how New Canaan plays with the shot clock.
Yeah, 20 onset shot clock. Buzzio said he was excited about it. He wanted his guys to go fast. The feed inside, looking for Roeder, but then we'll have a loose ball push, so the possession will stay with New Canaan, and they'll reset the shot clock. '26, Charlie Sullivan, sophomore lefty. Played on the attack line against Staples, moved out to midfield here as you're just trying to get your right matchups.
Yeah, Wildman's definitely not built like a sophomore.
Matt Reed, he and Wildman have such a great connection.
Good job by Matt Offsey there, the High Point senior commit.
Campese. The rip! He doesn't look like a sophomore. Wildman, top shelf.
Wildman known for that right-handed hammer shot. Just watch this, boom, right? That's 100 in the corner. Unbelievable, quick release. He loves that three-quarter. That's his 17th goal on the year. Over 70 points as a freshman last year. Already over the 100-point mark for the Rams. Generational talent according to Buzzio.
His face-off, again, becomes a battle of the wings.
Listen, you mentioned the name Krause around here, even in Garden City, right? Michael Krause's, dad and Steve and Uncle Andy, right? The Krause name means a lot, not only in New Canaan, but on Long Island. So you start comparing it to that, right? Eyes are open right away. And we see in the first quarter here why.
Here's a guy, too, who's made a name for himself, John Balsamo. Now gets back to Cypress and Sim. Sim comes downhill, cuts inside, low shot, and there's the save.
Yeah, right to the stick. Nice job catching it. I'm not going to say rarely because it's changed lately, but, having your best athlete maybe in the goal is such an advantage.
Campese to Roeder. Now here comes Ryan Stannard. Quick feet for the senior. Against Staples, it was such kind of a hectic, helter-skelter game. No shot clock as well, so there were long possessions for Staples. So we really didn't see too much of like a second midfield line for the Rams. We're seeing it now. Good job to get the ball back by Mazabras, and he'll draw the first flag of the game as well.
Yeah, Mazabras, senior captain, does a lot of the little things from a lacrosse family. Both dad and brother played at Ohio Wesleyan.
Look out, here comes Wildman. Good job by Trainer, as now we'll get a stoppage. And our first man up. It'll be a 1-minute slash against the Flyers. So this will bring us down to 5:13 on the game clock.
So man up wise, Campese can really sling it. We saw what Wildman can do. Those are two guys definitely on the scouting report. You don't want to let them shoot with their hands free.
Yeah, Campese with his right hits triple digits. There he is, little hidden ball trick. The feed, good knockdown. And the Flyers look to try to come away.
Yeah, call that a got it, right? Got it. Ryan Battaglia, the lefty, heading to Sacred Heart.
And now Walsh takes maybe a page out of Kroll's book there.
Yeah, drew a penalty.
And now Chaminade could play with the clock a little bit. Again, if it gets down to 5:13, you have the ball, you will be even, and then you could have your man up from there.
Really good possession. If you're Ryan Battaglia, you knock one down, help in the clear, and set up a possession.
This is Ferraro Rich, the senior, bound for Richmond. Balsamo to Sim. We are even now, and again, there's that delayed penalty right now against New Canaan. Little shake and bake, the feed to X. Chaminade doing a much better job of late sharing the rock.
You just see how more confident guys like Sim are. Danger every time they touch it.
Balsamo, the feed, and the finish inside by Aristoforatos.
That's what John Balsamo's been doing this year, the 5-star. his 23rd assist on the year. He's been like Amazon, right? Special delivery, this time to the super soft Aristoforatos, his 9th goal on the year. We've seen Aristoforatos, he can dodge. Great job off ball. Balsamo, the distributor, the QB of this Chaminade offense. Great look.
So the goal is good, and the penalty, which is a 1-minute slash, is on the board. So a little bit of an and one there for the Flyers, as they'll have a man-up face-off here.
Balsamo had 37 assists last year, his 23rd this year. He's over 135 points, 3-year varsity. What a career, hoping to end it great here as a senior.
Face-off goes to the Flyers. And now they'll be man up for a minute.
Yeah, that's Anthony Trapani with the wing play there. Great football player. Won the Terzi Award for the MVP.
Sam QBing it to Balsamo. 2 is Sam Fox.
Yeah, all 3 sophomores that were up last year are on this man-up unit.
Fox in a box.
Yeah, another assist for Balsamo. Kind of the QB up top in the man-up. You see him kind of reverse pivot. Think that one goes through the screen, right? Sly as a fox, that shot by Sam, the junior, committed to Michigan. Brother Ben at UNC. That's his 7th goal on the year. Big-time man-up sniper.
That must have been fun in the background, in the backyard there in Rockville Center, right? Ben's got the long pole. Sam's trying to beat him.
Put on your equipment, Sam.
Put mom in goal, maybe. Face-off win for New Canaan.
Sarami's a special one, a sophomore. Coach Buzzio said could be one of the best that we have at the end of this. 5'8", athletic. Been to some Penn, Harvard showcases. Don't be surprised if you see him, Division I type face-off recruit.
Yeah, what is it, September 1st? A lot of phone calls and texts for these super sophomores with Wildman and Cole Candy and Charlie Sullivan and
Wojnacki.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of good ones this year, right? We had P.J. Kennedy, Aiden Dale, Max Holda, Max Melchione.
I think that should be a soapbox thing.
Mike Ferrucci.
Super sophomores. Wildman hands off. Mazabris back out to Roeder. Now on top to Campese. Campese, good slide. Stops him in his tracks.
Yeah, that's Bekirs. He's tough as nails, heading to BU. Football player.
That was like a road closure on 95, but he gets him back, and the bouncer is wide by Campese.
You see why you don't want to let 9 get his hands free. Righty and lefty can sling it. Great job by Bekirs inside.
That's a shot clock violation, but already the Flyers have the ball as they'll come across. They'll go pole to pole.
Great handle. That was Matt Pearl, senior heading to Providence. Trainer's one of the more, I think he's the most improved guy we've seen. Heading to Stony Brook. Started to get a lot more time at the end of last year, and he's kind of the leader down there on defense this year.
And we'll look there at Christian Atwell, 36 up top. From long range, Hayden Cypress.
That's what he's known for. He's a bomber. Big, strong kid. That's his second, 18th on the year. Had 5 last year as a sophomore. Little heat check to the low corner. That's 2 shots that have beaten low and away. Must be the scout on Kroll. Yale's hot right now. Hayden Cypress is hot. Coach Shea, if you're watching, right, you're getting a good one.
5-1 the lead now for Chaminade. Good job to goose it forward, but now you got to battle with the Flyers poles. And this one will be Chaminade ball. Walsh reverses it. That one's a bouncer, and it's picked up by Aristoforatos.
Aristoforatos is a great sophomore. Played 8th grade varsity at Port Washington before coming to Chaminade. Had 14 points.
Flyers offside, so back to New Canaan. You need a punt return clear, you give it to Campese.
Yeah, really good size, 6'2", Campese.
It's interesting, too, and I think it maybe speaks to why there are so many injuries as we're inside the final minute of the first quarter. For New Canaan, there's a lot of that's timeout for the Rams. So right on cue, we could talk about them a little bit, but the synergies are hockey and lacrosse, not just with New Canaan, but it's kind of a Connecticut thing, right? More than you see with Chaminade or you see with St. Anthony's. It's like a football lacrosse.
Great point. You see it in the numbers too, right? You look at the numbers in New Canaan, you got 91, you got a 55, you got 99. Definitely hockey influence.
Well, a lot of these guys will be playing next level lacrosse, and we've got a good one coming up from Howitt Middle School. Penn against UMass. A rare late season non-league showdown between two teams coming off overtime wins. Join myself and Soap and Greg Cannella as well. Thomas Gamba on the sidelines.
Unbelievable, right? Coach Cannella will be with us in the booth. Legendary coach, retired this year. Going to be a great one, right? The Daler Classic, great facility at Farmingdale. Two really good programs.
I'm going to be surrounded by Long Island gorillas.
Look out, right? Gorillas in the Dale.
I've seen that movie before.
No bar is safe.
But yeah, that should be a great one on Friday. I was going to say night, but
it's like a happy hour.
Yeah.
But, you know, Campese, you're going to Denver, right? He's following William Hayes, who was a great long stick midi for the Rams, right? All-American last year. Going to be following him to out west.
Well, let's see what New Canaan has here off the timeout. Campese will back up. He's got off-C on him. Now they'll go with 30 seconds. Campese fires it inside. You got to figure at some point Wildman will get a touch, right, in this? Sullivan, slide comes his way. Look out. Lost it.
Great slide. That's Gavin Duran, senior. He's heading to Princeton.
And now it's a jailbreak for the Flyers. In and out of the stick. Loose ball picked up by Sim. Doesn't get a shot off.
Liam Cox, nice job with the GB.
So Chaminade, 10 days between games, but they don't miss a mark.
Yeah, Hayden Cypress going insane in the membrane, right, with a shot, goes down low. Also stuck one from way outside. Those juniors didn't go to Disney. They're ready.
End of one here at Gold Star Stadium, 5-1 Chaminade on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Back here at Gold Star Stadium, getting set for the start of quarter number 2. Chaminade, an impressive first quarter. They lead this one 5-1.
Mavlios has been great this year. 7 goals, over 60%. Pretty big shoes to fill with Quid Ball. We just mentioned UPenn. That boy's doing some good things for the Quakes.
Yeah, they just beat Brown in a game they needed to have. He won all 8 of his faceoffs in the second half as the Quakers went on the road and they won in double overtime to keep their season alive. And that was a game, that was an elimination game. And they eliminated Brown from Ivy League contention. There's Campese.
Good job in their matchup so far from Chaminade. Some good sliding. Battaglia, Trainer. Real physical to start this game. It's probably really nice to see a different colored jersey.
Low shot, bounced wide by Mazabras.
Yeah, that nice job, right? Ferraro Rich heading to Richmond. Really a two-way midfielder. Can do it all. We've seen a bunch of Richmond commits lately on Varsity Media, and every one is more impressive than the next.
Here is Reed. Stings it wide.
Yeah, Matt Reed's a junior heading to Holy Cross at 23 and 36 as a sophomore.
Mazabras restarts it, and there's Wildman. Wildman gets it off, puts it off the pipe.
Really likes to get middle, likes to get to his strong hand. It's gonna be tough against Trainer because Trainer's so strong.
He did get a reset though of the shot clock by putting that one on frame.
Chaminade looks like they've gone.
Wildman wants the ball.
Really tight or some sort of zone. You see Battaglia just stalking the middle.
And then some extra physicality applied by Shapiro. And it'll be the second man up opportunity for New Canaan. Ooh, this is gonna be locked in. I didn't see if it was a 1 or 2 minute. So this is head contact by Shapiro. So second man up opportunity for New Canaan. Keeping the ball is so important, right? In a situation like this. A little hitch by Campese.
Great approach by Battaglia to that right hand.
The dump down.
They were trying to seal on the backside for Wildman.
That is Sullivan. Oh, tried to get it over to Wildman, in and out of his stick. Good GB. Better save by Walsh to deny Campese.
Great stop. What he does best is control rebounds, gets right into the clear. That's 95. He just plucks out of the air, no problem.
And Walsh will airmail it. Jump ball. And it's won by Sim. And the way the sun is, too, Sim is facing the sun to get that ball. So now Chaminade could play with the shot clock a little bit here and kill this locked-in man-down situation.
You know, Walsh, not just a great goalie, blessed with some natural talents. He works at it. He's also a guy that likes to watch film and get the reads on his shooters, and no doubt, right, he had a good read on Campese there.
Surprised New Canaan's not being a little bit more aggressive here for a takeaway as Sim comes downhill now. Still 24 on the shot clock. Aristoferatos. Top side bouncer, good save.
Great job. Cypress has been really hot with that right hand. Nice save by Kroll to pick that one off the turf and throw it BB.
Yeah, he had like a 90-yard pass in that Staples game end of the third quarter. That was like ridiculous. Here comes Roeder.
Yeah, Kroll comes from a real athletic family. Mom played softball, dad football and baseball at Dartmouth. Used to a little pitch and catch.
Even now. Walsh comes this way. Here comes Trainer. Liam Trainer.
You know, you hate to keep making comparisons to Enneman with Walsh, but I think Enneman kind of really became the goalie who wants to handle the ball all the time. And today you're seeing Walsh and Kroll, both of those like new style of goalies that trust themselves with their sticks.
Talk about Walsh, and he's heading to Notre Dame. And there's a look at just the first 11 here, numerically, of Chaminade guys heading to college.
You know, we make these charts all the time, right, for these games, and it's just every kid's committed, right? Even guys who don't really crack the lineup on a regular basis, but not just great lacrosse programs, but great institutions for academics, right? BU, Scranton, Duke, right? Gillis, right? Duke's really can't wait to get him on campus. Kelly Knapp, Coach Turry at St. John's. Towson's having a great season. Richmond's in the top 5. Hobart, Merchant Marine, right? Cataldo, the backup goalie, saw some time a few games back. High Point, Crawley seems to have figured things out there. Providence, Hobart, Iona, Notre Dame, Catholic, right? Marist is getting a good one.
That's 33 college commits, 26 of them Division I.
Yeah, you drive in, it's 100% graduation rate here. You send your kids here for the education, for the athletics. The competition breeds greatness, and you see it on display with all the successful commits on this roster.
And you mentioned the academic, the rigors of it. You know, they've been in some stretches here where it's tough, right? They had that stretch earlier where it's exams week, right? And that's no joke here at Chaminade. And then you've got to try to balance that with playing the toughest schedule that Chaminade's ever played.
Zone by New Canaan.
Good ball movement by Chaminade, going low. That shot wide by Fox.
Yeah, good movement, the ability to flip the field, get it from one side to the next. You got dangerous shooters. What I love about Chaminade is their balance of right-handers and left-handers. You know, even without Gillis, you got Fox, you got Sim. They could all sling it with the left hand.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like an amoeba offense, right? Where
take a guess what hand Balsamo is. Right?
Yeah.
He's as two-handed as they come.
Here he is with the ball. Moves it quick. Great look. Really good save by Kroll.
Yeah.
Look out.
Took one in the thigh. This is where he excels out of the cage. What a great story about how he got started playing goalie, right, Dill?
Yeah, so his mom, Julia, they had this great timing, right? We could talk more about the goalie here for New Canaan. So as the legend goes, if you will, because you think you've even heard this story before, but there was a clinic back. Remember, Will Kashansky, now the head coach at Staples, was a defensive coordinator here at New Canaan. So they had a clinic, and all of a sudden there comes young Jack Kroll there. His mom Julia pulls the coaches aside, pulls Will and Chip aside. Hey, listen, my son, he wants to be a goalie. I do not want him to be a goalie. Please do everything you can to make him hate it. So they're like, you got it, Mom, no problem. So one of the drills they did was they took a bucket of balls. They gave 30 kids a tennis ball each, and they at the same time said 3, 2, 1, fire, threw 30 tennis balls towards Kroll's way. Next day they come out and mom said, "What did you guys do?" They said, "Oh, we're so sorry. Did we make it too hard?" He's like, "No, he loves it. He wants to be a goalie even more."
And here you are, 5-star, heading to Princeton. You know, brother Doster, right, at Michigan?
Doster, yeah, at Michigan.
It's pretty cool, right? He's split time with Cam Lydon for a bunch of years. Cam's going to Michigan. Cam's brother Bryce is at Michigan with his brother Doster, right? So,
well, they would have split too this year.
Yeah, no.
So they split the first 2 years, and unfortunately, Lydon, a bad back injury, and before the Staples game, an emotional moment, said to his guys, I can't play, which is obviously super tough, but now it's all Kroll's job, and you know, it's hard. You know it. You're a former goalie. You go from the regular occurrence of splitting games, and now you're the guy.
And I think it's really cool what Coach Buzzio said was that these two guys have a special bond with each other. You know, sometimes as goalies you compete, you all both want the time, but these two guys embraced their relationship and definitely got each other better.
They're line mates in hockey as well, right? So they are as close as can be, no doubt.
You know, New Canaan's still dealing with injuries, right? Rogan Lowe, we talk about hockey. He was player of the year in hockey, over 100 points. 5'10 lefty headed to Colgate. Still hasn't suited up for the Rams lacrosse team.
He's going on 2 years now where he hasn't. Balsamo.
So zone look, 1-4 by Chaminade. Pop in the crease.
Oh, that was a heavy pass by Cypress. Results in a turnover.
Here's one of the keys to riding the clear game.
They try to go pole to pole. They don't. Doesn't work.
Chaminade's matching feet on the ride, which means that when a guy goes over, the guy's staying with them. That leads to the crossfield pass.
And it's also the time of day where that's not easy, right? Like with the sun coming down and.
Yeah, that's Hojnacki. That 6'4" frame creates turnovers, long arms.
Sim rolls inside. Sim, saved by Kroll.
Yeah, went down low, got it with his legs.
6th save of the first half. Aristoforatos. Another save by Kroll.
Yeah, he's feeling it right now. He's keeping New Canaan in this. You know, Princeton has a really good one now with Croddick. Kroll looking the part. You know, Coach Madelon was a goalie at Princeton. He knows what he's looking for, and he's getting a very athletic keeper in Jack.
Big possession here for New Canaan. Down 4. The score has stayed that way for a little while.
Because of Kroll.
Yeah. But now let's see if you can get this guy going. Here comes Wildman, lowers his shoulder, lowers the boom, but Walsh says no.
Yeah, just catches it with ease. That's the sweet spot for Wildman, that middle of the field with that 3-quarter release. Walsh gobbled it up.
Timeout for Chaminade. What a goalie battle we have here with Walsh and Kroll.
Yeah, 2 5-stars. Been real physical with Wildman so far. Yeah, I guess this is his sweet spot. This is his honey hole right there. Boom! Right, just it's almost like you're having a catch, and that's 90 plus. Walsh makes the position look easy.
We showed you those college commits for Chaminade. Let's take a look at some of the guys for New Canaan and where they will head to the next level.
Yeah, just great universities, Holy Cross, Denver, Princeton, Colgate, kind of a Trinity, bunch of Trinity guys. That's a NESCAC school in Hartford, really hard to get into, 29% acceptance rate. But, you know, these kids are not only great students but great players, right? You see Michigan, Lydon's going to go ahead with his brother Bryce. Matty Reed going to Holy Cross.
Where will Gray Wildman go? That's the question.
Yeah. He, he has the look, right? He has the look. He's on everyone's radar. I think he attended a Duke camp.
Well, and the thing, too, about Wildman, 91 there for New Canaan is he and Krause do have something similar, right? Like, and Buzzio said it's rare for an attackman. You've got a hammer from the outside. You can dodge. You can feed. You could finish inside, score in transition. You pick up ground balls. That's a lot for an attackman to be able to do.
And he wants to be great. Him and Reed stay out there after practice with buckets of balls, shooting. That's what it takes to be an elite lacrosse player these days.
And you know what? You could say a lot about those same attributes and the qualities with number 1 in white, right?
Just look how confident he is. The way he just moves the ball. He knows where it's going. Just passes are crisp. They're on the guy's sticks. That's so underrated, that ability where the stick is just, connected to your hands.
The skip, the hitch.
Yeah, good job by Hojnacki.
The bouncer, another save.
And he hustles to the end line and beats it. Complete goalie. He makes the position look fun.
And you suspect, too, the Chaminade guys watched the film and said, listen, we're not letting 14 get over the midfield.
they're daring they're daring the poles to carry when they're matching feet. Good recognition by Hojnacki.
And then he lost it at the last second with that physicality by Offsey. But we go back the other way with Mazabras. Campese.
Great job by Trainer.
And now you got Stannard on as well as Finn Roeder.
Yeah, look at the motor on Shapiro.
Roeder tries to go high on the spin.
Yeah, Roeder, another senior, going to Holy Cross, captain of this team. Good to see him healthy.
Wildman with the only goal to this point for the Rams. Up top to Roeder. Here comes Stannard. Shapiro on him. Now it's Matty Reed.
Really impressed with the poles of Chaminade. Been under control so far. Really physical.
Yeah, extra physical there on Wildman. He draws another penalty. Picks it up off the scrum. Wildman. The hitch, another flag. And the goal. Finn Roeder.
Listen, Chaminade's come out very physical, especially on 91. Wildman, he comes out of a GB, throws a skip, and Finn does the rest. Stings a corner, known for that right-handed shot, rolls back, let it fly, top corner.
And at least one of these penalties will stick.
Yeah, that's the 6th goal on the year.
Actually, both will. You've got a 1-minute cross-check and a 1-minute slash. So what an opportunity here for New Canaan to play 6-on-4 lacrosse, but super important here to try to win this faceoff. Mavlios is literally on an island.
Yeah, he is by himself. You got to come away with this if you're New Canaan.
Yeah, there is no wing play for Mavlios. Now, he's done such a great job of winning it forward and then going to goal. But if you muck it up even just a little bit for Sarami, then you get your poles involved. And Mavlios jumped. 51 seconds left.
4-on-3. They had Blake Schwartz, a senior, another captain, going to Trinity on the wing, subbing on the man-up Bombers.
Roeder just scored for New Canaan. Reed, the hitch. Back up top, loose ball now.
Battaglia again with a great approach, physical.
Roeder gooses it forward, has it. Another terrific takeaway.
Yeah, Matty Pearl, future Friar.
And Chaminade ball.
Yeah, great work by the Poles. Think if you could probably hold it here, hold it.
Walsh checks over his shoulder. And he does just that. So Chaminade will head in to the halftime break with a 5-2 lead. It is a battle soap of 5-star goalies. And the guy wearing 44 in white has the lead at halftime.
Yeah, just his ability. He kind of plays low. That's the new way to play, wide and low. You think up top's open, not so fast. Takes it away. Great start, great finish to the half by Chaminade.
Halftime at Gold Star Stadium. We're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Katie Ledecky. As an Olympic athlete, you might think staying healthy is easy for me. Truth is, we all face challenges. Keeping the right mindset is how we achieve our best personal performance. At Catholic Health, the same focus on wellness and prevention that I follow every day is the way they think too. That's why I'm teaming up with Catholic Health to help make healthcare even more positive, proactive, and personal for every person across Long Island. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves. You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Parents, coaches, and players, ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosted the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Merrill, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face-on, stay-on athlete, controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Welcome back to Gold Star Stadium. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper, our entire Varsity Media crew here with you. And it's a rare situation here. So we've got dueling broadcasts of similar ilk, right? Like of this like tri-state powerhouses. So here, of course, it's Chaminade, New Canaan, and Chaminade leads at 5-2. But over at Cy Donnelly Field, it is, look at this, a live look-in with St. Anthony's and Iona Prep. I was about to jump in and do some play-by-play. I know Lance Meadows doing a great job of that. I was about to say, here's Bramoff with the ball. We're so used to doing all those St. Anthony's game. Low-scoring game, though, in this one. 4-2 is the lead, as this is a no-joke Iona Prep team this year. Like, they're a team that they've always kind of been in that second level, right, in the Catholic League. It's been St. Anthony's and Chaminade. And then you take a step below, it's like Iona, Fordham, Kellenberg. But it feels like this year with Timmy Plunkett and even, can you imagine how good they'd be with Crew Davis back on their team this year. Right now down at Carolina with football. But this is a team that has opened eyes. They had a big win against Don Bosco and certainly giving St. Anthony's everything they've got here.
7-0, undefeated.
Yeah. Little birdie tells me they might be in the top 25 rankings for USA Lacrosse magazine. But we take it back here at Gold Star. Let's take a look, Soap, at some of the first half stats for you.
5-2 on the scoreboard. Coach K's got to be really happy with the score. Shots advantage to Chaminade, face-off advantage, and Kroll's been really good with 8 saves. When Walsh has had to be, he's been really solid as well. No ordinary shots are going in against these keepers. Chaminade give a fast start. We've seen them. St. Anthony's let them back in. They've been slow starting lately. They have a fast start today, so I bet you in the halftime, right? The talk was the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. No face-off due to the man up, man down, hold it.
So that's the situation for Chaminade. Down 2 to start this third quarter. And Aristoferados, no problem, taking on 2, taking on 4 at midfield. Still comes away with it. Are you kidding me? And now he goes for goal. Says, hang on, pump the brakes on that. How about it from Aristoferados?
He's a guy, he's a 28 that, is going to get a lot of D1 interest as well. 5-star rated, well-deserved. That 5-goal game, overtime winner, I think it was St. Ignatius, really kind of stapled him as a high riser.
You were close. It was St. Andrews.
Oh, my bad.
That's all right.
Yeah, 5 plus the overtime winner.
So even now for the Flyers.
Zone again for the Rams.
Pizzo up top.
Yeah, they're going to carry out of this. Really tight and connected this zone for New Canaan.
Sim gets eaten in front. They don't need any more injuries, so hopefully Owen Roby's all right.
Yeah, Junior Roby. This is a big defense, right? You got 6'4", 6'3", 6'3". Graduated 7 D1 guys, and Roby's one of those guys who earned his time. Great to see him out there making plays.
Gotta get this one across. They do. Now maybe something in transition here for the Rams.
Yeah, Chaminade went 10-man.
It's a great job by Blake Schwartz just to hold on to it and get it to Campese.
Yeah, Schwartz is a two-way midi. Really good football player for the state champs, right? Played safety, had a huge winning interception against rival Greenwich this year.
He's one of those guys, too. How often do we say it in lacrosse? Like, oh, he's drawing the short stick, look out. That's a good thing if you're New Canaan, you're defending with Schwartz. He's such a lockdown short stick D-midi.
Yeah, that's two similarities. We've got great goalies and great short stick lockdown D-middies for both teams.
Reed up top to Roeder, and here comes Wildman. 5-star, 5 tools.
Yeah, you see Shapiro on the ball. Good job against Roeder.
Reed picks it off the carpet. 9 on the shot clock, though. They've got to go. Wildman says no problem, right into Walsh's stick.
Fourth save for Walsh. Routine one for him. See the shot clock coming into play for New Canaan.
You would love to see that in New Jersey and in Connecticut. It's made such a difference, I feel like, in the game here in New York for a positive. As it is Sim to Balsamo. They'll play catch up top. Back to Balsamo. Here he comes.
Balsamo just makes such quick decisions.
And wherever he is, you're forced to play him.
New Canaan's doing a good job keeping everything on the perimeter. Really tight, attached zone defense here.
High riser by Sim. Kroll the save.
I think Kroll is feeling it. I think it looks like a beach ball for him. This second quarter into now the third, he's been locked in, staring down a Sim rifle. Took care of that one.
Ground ball, scooped up. And now Chaminade looks to come the other way.
Chaminade poles have been really good off the ground, getting the ball out.
And it's been a collective effort, right? It's not just one guy.
Yeah, it's a group of guys who earn time as well. 3 seniors down there on close. You lose a guy like Lou D'Agostino, who's up playing in the Dome at Syracuse.
A rip wide by Cypress.
Yeah, Kroll directing the defense. One thing that he continually is working on to get better at, to be a better communicator. You see him in the zone. He definitely doesn't want a guy like Cypress hands-free.
There he is again with the ball. Cypress, 2 goals in the first half.
Yeah, they go man now. They're out of the zone. Changing it up.
Sim. The kick up top, Ferraro Rich. And again, the crisp ball movement by the Flyers as Fox beats his man.
Got to get inside, though. You got to penetrate this defense.
Balsamo will try to do just that. Lowers his shoulder.
And Hushnacki really is long.
3 on the shot clock. Bouncer saved by Kroll right as the shot clock expired.
We saw a couple of those early go off hip. That was a great save. Getting those hands through. Violent hands by Kroll. He's seeing it right now. The Flyers have been stuck at 5 for a while.
Yeah, Kroll's 10th save of the game.
Real positivity on the sideline for New Canaan right now.
He had 9 saves in 4 quarters against Staples in that 11-8 loss last week. Here comes Campisi. And now it's Reed. Roeder to Wildman. Rolls. Looks like he's going to maybe even possibly draw another penalty. Here's Roeder. 14 on the shot clock.
You think Trainer was riding Space Mountain thinking about Wildman?
Shot clock violation against New Canaan.
So we've seen the shot clock twice in this second half come into play for New Canaan.
And these 2 games for Chaminade and St. Anthony's almost identical scores. Chaminade leads this one 5-2, and South Huntington it is 6-2 St. Anthony's. Chaminade will see Iona Prep next week.
Christian Atwell, senior Iona out there. First thing you got to do is recognize what they're in. Looks like they like starting the possession in zone.
Well, that was an errant pass. A tip, though, so we got a miscommunication here. You got one ref pointing the one way, didn't realize it was tipped, so we'll stay with Chaminade.
Yeah, Hoshnacki, just a shutdown type. He's got that long arms. Definitely knows a bit about zone, playing hoops.
Good knockdown. Now it's a battle, and you give credit to Cox there to pick it off the carpet.
The senior, both him and Roby have waited their turn, earned their time, and are playing big-time lacrosse for the Rams.
The riding game, too, of late for Chaminade has been really good.
Yeah, they're just daring you to take it over with a pole and then sicking a guy like Battaglia on you.
And we have a timeout for New Canaan. They needed to take that with how Campese was absolutely getting crushed in front of the Chaminade bench.
It's kind of like a tipping point in this game, right? 5-2, you get to 6-2. It might be too much. I think you probably don't want to burn a timeout in the third quarter, but I feel that he feels like this is a huge part of the game. 5-3 would be a real momentum builder for New Canaan.
Well, we mentioned a bunch of D1 guys for New Canaan, and we take a look now at their next level players, and it starts there with the goalie's brother, Doster Kroll, at Michigan, along with Bryce Light, and the other goalie's brother.
Yeah, Michigan, big time, getting big time recruits, right? Dylan Stevens at Syracuse. Will Hayes was an All-American last year, long stick. He's at Denver, and Gray Tomasco at Richmond. What a great job they're doing, right? He might be on our list. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the Chaminade list, but Gavin Creo, a teammate of Tomasco's at Richmond, having a big-time season for Coach Chaminade.
Yeah, the Spiders out of the A10, one of the best teams in the nation. That is really impressive stuff. And you consider, too, this history for New Canaan. 11 state championships, 11 FCAC championships to their name. And really, you've only got, like in the FCAC especially, right, you've got only a few teams, but those teams are all really good, right? Darien and Staples and Ridgefield and New Canaan, and those guys just battle, right? Like every game is a war.
Yeah, and Coach Buzzio said sometimes it's nice to get on the road to maybe play some teams that don't know you so well, but with the way Chaminade's come out, you can tell that they've had a heavy scout on the Rams.
Wildman to Campese. Campese, the bouncer is wide. And New Canaan this year, along with Darien, are two teams that a lot of people kind of peg in the preseason as two of the favorites in the FCAC, and as such, two of the favorites for the state tournament. Here's Wildman, loses it.
How good has Trainer been? Originally committed to Stony Brook, going to be a Stag at Fairfield, just disruptive, good size, 5'11", tough, hard nose. He's been a key to this game so far for Chaminade on defense.
Flyers offside. But I think to your point earlier, this next goal is a big one, right? New Canaan gets it, some juice for the visitors.
Yeah, it's been a while since Chaminade scored. You have a hot goalie if you're New Canaan. But they have not been able to get inside on the Chaminade defense.
Good slide toward Campese.
You're going to have to get an assisted goal if you're New Canaan. Chaminade sliding really early. Almost be the guy who gets the hockey assist.
Well, they know something about that. That is for sure. Here is Reed. There's the feed inside to Wildman, and he shoots it just wide.
Yeah, those are the two guys you mentioned, how well they play together. We'll shoot for hours after practice.
Mazabras. Roeder to Campese.
Yeah, Mazabras is like that off-ball guy. Look for him to maybe get it off some movement. Guys like Reed, Wildman to find him.
Slide comes to Reed, open for the shot, and Walsh makes the save to deny Campese.
Great stop, that wide base. He gets down low, kicks that one to the side.
They will reset the shot clock.
As if, Chaminade's D's not tough enough. You got the 6'5" Walsh as the last line of defense.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, the similarities are they're both going D1. They're both 5 stars, but really interesting contrast between the two goalies today, huh?
All shapes.
Wildman tries the bouncer again, and that's wide.
But if you notice, everything's from the outside, right? They're keeping everything from 10, 15, 16 yards. And if you're Chaminade's coaching staff, Coach O'Connell doing a great job with the defense, you'll take that.
I almost feel like we're at Yankee Stadium here in the playoffs, because now you wonder how much does the sun play a role here, right? As you see the shadows over most of Gold Star Stadium, but the sun directly in the eyes of Walsh. Still, with the shots from distance, he's able to see them. Another one that's eaten in front.
We've had to be on 5-2 for 20 minutes.
Inside the final minute of the third quarter. Campese. That one is wide as well.
Good defense leads to wide shots, keeping them on the perimeter, hands on them, decreasing the angle. New Canaan already pre-subbing their guys on the field, right? Schoonmaker, the Trinity commit.
Wildman sends it out towards midfield. So 33 seconds now for Chaminade to perhaps extend their lead.
3 shot clock violations in the third quarter.
Cypress to Balsamo.
The zone has done wonders for the Rams. When you got a hot goalie, zone could be the right recipe.
Inside the final 10 seconds. The fire from distance from Cypress was wide.
See that feed by Balsamo? It's always right on the stick, allowing the shooter to just catch and release.
And fittingly, it quarter ends with the ball in the stick of Jack Kroll, who just sends it back the other way. Well, Kroll, man, he has done his job. How about 10 saves for him through 3 quarters?
Yeah, not easy, right? We saw him up high there. Look, this one's ridiculous. Boom, get that stick to the offside, young man, right? And pick up the rebound and outlet it. So athletic. Like you said, different sizes and shapes. Kroll's 5'11", pure dynamite.
End of 3 at Gold Star Stadium, 5-2 Chaminade. Fourth quarter when we return to the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson, you're watching Varsity Media.
Hi, I'm Katie Ledecky. As an Olympic athlete, you might think staying healthy is easy for me. Truth is, we all face challenges. Keeping the right mindset is how we achieve our best personal performance. At Catholic Health, the same focus on wellness and prevention that I follow every day is the way they think too. That's why I'm teaming up with Catholic Health to help make healthcare even more positive, proactive, and personal for every person across Long Island. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
It has been a battle of goalies here at Gold Star Stadium. Jack Kroll, Kieran Walsh bringing it today. I know my broadcast partner, Brian Soper, loves a good goalie battle.
Nothing better. Not only are they great savers of the ball, great outletters of the ball, complete goalies.
And it is Chaminade with the 5-2 lead with the ball now. Maybe they can get something quick here before New Canaan can snap into that zone.
There it is.
Blocked in front. Loose ball, Balsamo.
He does everything.
Step down, shot. Pizzo pings it.
It starts with a GB. John Balsamo finds the Cornell commit, Pizzo. Finn just unloads a hammer to the top corner, known for his quick release. His 11th goal on the season. Man, that was a huge goal. It starts with a GB by John Balsamo, the UVA commit.
Yeah, Pizzo's first of the game makes it 6-2. He said late in the third how big that next goal would be. Well, it goes to Chaminade, and after the hold on the faceoff, they'll get the ball back now. Mavlios. He's like, Coach, I am staying on right now.
That's a really tough shot, right? Pizzo's 6 foot. He has that high overhand release, and it's quick and gets on you really quick. That was a great shot under the bar.
Balsamo brings his man to X. Wants to work a little two-man game with Mavlios. Slide comes his way, which means it's Pizzo again!
Says run it back. Balsamo, that vision, that 24th assist on the year. Just elite. He has elite vision. Finds Pizzo. You see that quick release, catch. He doesn't have to move his stick. That feed is right on the money, right on his ear. Catch and shoot. Textbook.
2 huge goals for the junior from Islip. And from 5 to 2, he makes it a 7-2 game.
Pizzo, another one of those sophomores who played last year, had 7 goals as a sophomore.
Trapani gets the ground ball.
12 goals now, and probably 2 of the biggest goals of his career.
So you have 2 for Cyprus, 2 for Pizzo. Goals by Sim, Haristoforatos, and Fox as well.
You know, Balsamo, give him credit, right? He's becoming like that QB, replacing a guy like Connor Cutton, 50 points, more of the X guy, the distributor, and Balsamo shows that he's equally adept at just finishing the ball and feeding it.
And I love that mentality, right? I mean, that's a guy who's got that team focus, the laser focus on the team. It's not about his numbers. It's not about him needing to score goals.
But he's a really good feeder and a really deceptive shooter. Makes him a dual threat.
It's going to be fun to watch him on the ACC network. That's a great knockdown. Owen Roby. Oh, and a late flag on that hit.
That's been the little difference between the knockdowns in the New Canaan end. Chaminade's done a better job today getting them out, but now we see a foul.
Yeah, this was on that late hit. I believe it was Voorhees. It'll be a 1 minute man up for New Canaan. They are 0 for 4 with the extra man here today.
They've been looking to set up like screens, right? Pick downs, right? Some almost like flare screens in basketball for their shooters. And Chaminade's done a really good job with their sticks in the lane.
This is a must-have right now if you are New Canaan.
Yeah, so again, trying to seal. Back to a 3-3 look.
Reed looks inside, and that's the shot they needed, except it goes over by Mazabras.
Great look. Going to have to find, feed the rock, get that ball inside. Mazabras really good off ball, sneaky player.
Reed. Back to Campese.
I can't hear them, but I can just tell by the body language and the way that they're pointing. Really good communication by the man down team.
And they again tried to feed Mazabras in the high crease. The pass was an errant one. So now Chaminade will look to man down clear. And now you're even.
Train has been an animal.
And it turns into WWE on the far sideline.
Yeah, we have Matt Offseat, right, the senior defender, right? He's into the MMA and jiu-jitsu. Seeing a little of that on the sideline.
So after all of that, we'll get a 30-second hold against New Canaan. You mentioned the schedule for New Canaan. It doesn't get any easier, does it? You go from this game, you're home for Wilton, another one of those FCAC teams. Then you're at Iona Prep, then you're at Fairfield Prep, then you're home for Darien. Yeah, no joke.
Coach Buzzio said that this is a telling week for them coming in. Chaminade, Wilton, Iona Prep. Kind of see where they're at. Little litmus test for the Rams. This is a dangerous man up right now. Balsamo's been feeling it. Some of the shooters are getting some confidence.
Yeah, Pizzo, look for him a couple of goals in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Balsamo usually goes to this top center spot, becomes the orchestrator.
Spinning his sim. Lost it though. Great stick check by Cox.
Yeah, great job. Look at this.
Here he goes. Scored against Staples. This time he becomes a feeder. Now it's Wildman with space. The feed to Reed and the finish inside.
Man, this starts with Kroll. He throws a dime to Schwartz. A little bit of a post pattern. Great handle. Look at this little lever pass. Creates transition. Wildman. Those two are really connected. They play great together. Two of the hardest workers on the team team up here for a huge goal for the Rams. Nice finish by Reed, his 9th goal on the year.
And for Wildman, his 8th assist of the year.
That lever pass by Schwartz was amazing. And the confidence for Kroll to throw that in there.
This is a big one. Reed scoops it up. Reed again! Yeah, he's a hockey guy.
Yeah,
right?
Maddie's lit a match for the Rams. A little hockey there by Sarami. Comes out of it. That left hand finishes it.
Little toe drag by Reed, right? Right here. Whoop! Whoop.
That's gritty, that's tough, right? That's what it takes to get into those crevices. This is a team that has a lot of pride. Coach Buzzio said it might be the best offensive team he's had since 2015.
And now Buzzio's boys are buzzing. A face-off win by Sarami. And don't look now, but here come the Rams. Save by Walsh.
Yeah, big stop by Walsh. Pegged that one right, 7-16.
Shapiro gets it across. Look out.
A pole goal there would have, you know, the Rams would have exploded.
Timeout for Chaminade. As we take a look at what's next for the Flyers, they'll stay here, take on Boston College High School, and then the always anticipated Riggs Rock. This year, the scene shifts to Manhasset, and Iona Prep comes here. We just saw them in our split screen fall to St. Anthony's, their first loss of the year. And then Chaminade going to take on a really good Del Barton team. Del Barton coming off a tough loss to their arch rival, Seton Hall Prep.
That Riggs Rock game is going to be really good. Manhasset is, you know, maybe surprising some people this year. Really strong defense. They have a freshman goalie they call Monster, right, who's been playing really well in the cage. Experience on offense and some young guns. So, you know, what's been a bit of a lopsided game maybe the last couple of years, look out on Saturday, all for a great cause honoring 19 Jimmy Regan.
Yeah, you go around and we talk to a lot of different guys and high school coaches who were college coaches or who played college ball. And, you know, we're going to speak tomorrow. We've got UMass and Penn, and we'll speak to Taylor Ray, the coach at Penn who played at Duke. Everyone knows Jimmy Regan's story.
think Manhasset, their only loss this year was to Darien.
Correct.
Connecticut team. Back to zone here. You can tell when they pass off the carries. So there you go, there's the pass.
Jump shot, hat trick, Pizzo.
Second half Finn. Just creating offense by climbing the ladder. His feet doesn't move. He catches it from Balsamo again. Those two guys have connected for the last 3 goals. But number 6, 3 goals, much needed for Chaminade. Great job getting to some space, and that overhand shot is tough when you can snipe corners.
And so when you're that 9-man offensive amoeba, it doesn't matter, right? And it could be any one of those guys. And today, it's about Finn Pizzo.
You know, we really hope that Gillis can come back, all right, and how dangerous this offense will be with Balsamo, now Pizzo, with Sim, Aristoferrato, Cypress, all with more confidence.
I mean, that's a defensive coordinator's nightmare. Like, who gets pulled? Who gets the short stick? Do we go into a zone like...
Listen, that shot by Pizzo is a goalie's nightmare because this day and age, kids love the sidearm. He's straight over the top. He's going to Cornell. Kind of reminds me of Hugh Kelleher, the way he brings it back from the top. Makes it really tough to save.
Kelleher, the former MacArthur great. Here comes Campese. New Canaan needs one here. Reed has had the hot hands. Wildman tries for the one more. That one, again, the poles. The collective pole unit.
Yeah, it's been a flyer defense. It's been a no-fly zone in the middle of the D.
Battaglia knocked that one down. Diving in front! The finish by Wildman! Air Wildman!
He's a real wild man, right, for risking it all here. I said no-fly zone. He buzzes the tower of Walsh. The guts on the sophomore. Just an unbelievable effort from him.
Yeah, the landing, you know, that's like, it's a windy day at LaGuardia. Like, what's going on? Can we land this thing? It wasn't the prettiest landing, but what a great goal for Gray Wildman, his 18th of the year. Big win by Mavlios. Takes it himself. Mavlios denied by Kroll.
Huge stop. Mavlios has 7 goals on the year. Known for his ability to score in transition. Huge save by Kroll.
Man, if New Canaan, and they'll go offside here. I was about to say, if they can get the next one, 5 and change, two goal game. Oh, they might get on the ride back. And it was Wildman to do so. That's why, one of the reasons he's a generational talent.
Listen, those words, right, you got to earn them, right? But he really seems to be a different player right now in the 4th quarter.
Hands off to Roeder. Work it to Reed at X. Side netting that shot by Campese.
Chaminade's done a good job on Campese.
And that's a rare mistake in the clearing game by Walsh. Now it's Balsamo on the other side trying to ride it back. Timeout, New Canaan. With 4:34 left. Well, Soap, it's been a busy, or it is a busy week for us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You and I, if we don't already know each other well, we will get to know each other even better this week. You and I have 5 games coming up this week. The first one, not one of them. That's tomorrow a girls battle between Massapequa, Cold Spring Harbor. I believe Thomas Gamba on the call for that one. And then you and I will be at a Class A slobber knocker between Port Washington and Massapequa. Those two teams have a disdain for each other. They played in the county chip last year, Massapequa winning that one. Then we go from Thursday to Friday at Howitt Middle School. Cannot wait for this one. Penn and UMass. Yeah, NCAA D1 lacrosse here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We were here at Gold Star to start the season, right, as Harvard and Marquette. What a great game that was, and we've kind of watched, right, the journey of these teams in Harvard, how well they've played throughout the year, and the Ivies. Well, Penn, their hopes to make that Ivy tournament, and only 4 teams make it. It's kind of by a string, but they've got a chance. Taylor Ray's guys have a chance. Need some help, but they've got a chance thanks to that win over Brown. So Penn and UMass should be a ton of fun out in Farmingdale. So here we go, off the timeout, Finn Roeder.
New Canaan out of timeouts. Chaminade slips into a zone here.
I like it. We see your zone, we're going to raise you one. Wildman moves it quick. Gets it back. Returns it to Roeder.
Just a smart strategy, right? Making them use the shot clock. They're down 3. Clock is the friend of Chaminade.
Matt Reed hands it off.
26 is Charlie Sullivan, the sophomore lefty.
Here's Campese. The bouncer is wide. 14 left on the shot clock. Mazabras to restart. There's Reed. Shot wide.
Yeah, nice job. They got that little seal for Campese.
6 on the shot clock. This is Wildman. The hitch. Wildman, the feed, 1, the shot, saved by Walsh.
Kick save and a beaut off the ankle.
Big ground ball. It will go to the Flyers.
Trapani knows a thing about rushing down the middle of the field. Dynamic running back and linebacker who packs a punch.
How about that, too, for an unselfish moment, right? You had a few guys there who don't score goals very often, right? Bakirs and Trapani, and then even you go to the pole. Any one of those guys could have been selfish and taken a shot there, but it's about the time and score, and let's reset and get this shot clock going.
Yeah, and having the ball in this number 1 stick with 2:30 to go, any coach feels confident.
We talked about Riggs Rock, and Balsamo doesn't wear that 19, certainly could. Has all the, checks all the boxes of someone who could wear that. But how special will that Saturday afternoon be for him, the Manhasset kid?
One more, right? He's had 3 years on the varsity, 3 Riggs Rocks games. Would love to finish with another victory as a senior.
3 in the shot clock, and that's fine for Chaminade.
10-man ride. Walsh is out of the net. I think Buzzio was saying that was one thing Staples kind of threw at them, that, they didn't handle well.
Inside the final 2 minutes. There's Wildman. Can he get some room to run? He does. Gets top side, and look out from behind. Atwell, the takeaway. And now you can go to the corner if you're Chaminade.
Atwell, Iona commit from Malvern, senior. Just a great play. So Kroll's out of the net now, empty net for New Canaan.
There's Balsamo. Kroll back in, now back out.
Little keep away. Dean Smith, 4 corners here.
I mean, if you're Chaminade, you're fine with even, again, another shot clock violation because New Canaan will have the ball with 30 seconds left about and still down 3.
Yeah, good job by the D. That was Schoonmaker.
And now they have to get their ice skates on here and get going.
Yeah, Schoonmaker tore his ACL in wrestling last year, missed his junior year. He's having a great senior year for New Canaan.
Mazabras.
Got to go quick here.
Roeder. Good defense.
Just haven't been able to win one-on-one matchups. The Chaminade Poles have been too good.
And this one will go to the other side. And this one will be iced with Balsamo with the ball in his stick. They've not played a varsity lacrosse game, these two programs, in some time. They've played on the lower levels, though. They've had some battles, that is for sure, especially in this 2026 class. But on this afternoon, it is Chaminade that comes away with an 8-5 win.
Very good win for Chaminade. Balsamo and Pizzo dominated down the stretch. Some key saves by Walsh and some crazy tough on-the-ball defense, physical all day from the Flyers.
Yeah, New Canaan, they suffer their second straight defeat. They are 4-2 on the year, but you get the feeling, right? Like they've got the pieces, they've got the dudes, they get healthy. They're going to be a problem in the FCAC and also in the state tournament. And then for Chaminade, they improve now to 8-3 on the year.
5 in a row.
And 5 wins in a row indeed.
You know, that's a New Canaan team that comes in here averaging 12.2 goals a game. This Chaminade defense holds them to 5. Tremendous effort.
Great job, too, by both goalies in this one. It was a fun one here today, Soap, as New Canaan, they make the long trip down 95 from Connecticut. And early on, Finn Roeder. Both goalies coming up with some huge saves. Kroll denies that one up high. But then it was the Finn Pizzo show. Finn for the win. And Walsh makes the saves on the other side as well, as it is Chaminade celebrating an 8-5 win. For our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director is Chris Sweeney, for Mike Verdi and Pablo Pachucho, my broadcast partner Brian Soper. Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Gold Star Stadium. Time for Cornerstone with the boys. We'll see you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.